So, standing in mountain pose, we'll begin our centering and breath work here. So, you might take a moment to shift your weight left and right. It always takes us a moment to arrive and get settled. So, let's just let that happen. Maybe rolling through the feet a bit up to the toes. Could shake out your hands, roll out your shoulders. Just this preparation for stillness. And then when you're ready, find your two footprints on the mat. You might lift your toes, dig into those knuckles of your feet, and then softly set the toes back down. If you feel safe and stable here, close your eyes or soften your eyes down so the attention comes in. Spin the palms forward and start right here to notice your breath. As you feel your feet on the earth, I'd like you to pay attention to your ankle bones, especially the outer ankle bones. And draw a line, an imaginary line in your mind from the ankle bones up to the outside of your knees. And then put the tiniest bend in your knees so that it feels like energy can flow up through that space easily. Ankles to knees. Notice the tendency to lock out the knees and push the knees back. See if you can keep a nice clear channel around the knee joint. And then draw another imaginary line from the knee, the outside of the knee, to the outside of your hips, the place where the hip joint is. And again, notice if there's any locking or tension around your hips. And you might move your pelvis just a tiny bit until you feel like those joints are a little more fluid. And then continue that line up to the outer shoulders. Let's just play a little bit there with the shoulders. Draw your arm bones forward and pull your arm bones backward. So think of the top of your arm bones, the top of your shoulders just gliding forward and gliding back. And then let those arm bones rest back just a bit so you feel your shoulder blades coming down on your back. Let your ears draw back just enough to stack over your shoulders. The chin is slightly lifted and the eyes now are either closed or forward. Here's a cue from Anusara. Lift your palate, the top of your mouth. Lift your palate. And now bring your fingertips to this soft place at the base of your throat. Just feel that very tender space there. And start to trace your fingers out along your collarbones and just feel that line from the middle of your throat to the outer shoulders. And today I'd like to ask you, I'll remind you a few times to brighten up that space. Maybe feel like you're leading with your collarbones. So sometimes we say, stick your heart forward. This is more subtle than that. Brighten up that space between your shoulders and then arms rest again. So with this alignment now, your body is ready to just be a channel for energy. Inhale from the ground up through the crown of your head. And exhale like you're receiving a transmission from the sky through your body down into the earth. Inhale from earth to sky. Exhale from sky to earth. As you continue taking deep breaths, I'd like you to see if you can feel the breath coming from inside the body out. So let the inhale begin somewhere deep inside your torso and radiate out. And then the exhale comes in and close in on a little tiny point deep inside your torso. Inhale, brightening the body from the inside out. And exhale. Start to move with breath. Inhale the arms overhead. The breath comes from the inside of the body and creates movement. Hands join at heart center on the exhale. Let's do that again. Knees stay soft, body tall, reach and lower. One more nice circle, opening up through the shoulders and down. We're going to add just a little bend in the knees now. So on the inhale, reach up. On the exhale, sink into kind of a high chair, moving with breath. As the arms reach up, feel the way the shoulder blades are moving on your back. They're like wings. The next time you come down, bring your hands to your thighs, step your feet a little bit wider, and stay sideways. And we're going to move through a gentle cat and cow. So inhale, opening up through the chest. Exhale, broaden your back. Try to make the back of your body more spacious. The breath comes from the inside out. You might start hearing that soft whisper of your breath. So this is a practice of sensitivity, just being really sensitive to what you're feeling in your body. The alignment cues give us stability. We'll make tiny adjustments along the way, but your job really is to just line your body up and then be sensitive to what you notice here. Keeping the feet wide, a little bit wider, and maybe turning the toes slightly out. Let's reach the arms up again. And now as we come down, we'll squat just a little bit lower as the hips move back. Bringing now in that movement of the hip joint, warming up the knees and getting a little more into the ankles. So if your body's feeling warm and ready, you might even touch the floor as you come down. If your knees say nope, knees get to be the boss. The spine is still in this long neutral line. Breath moves from the inside of the body to the outside. Let's go one more time. Lift and then lower. And so hands on the thighs, the feet are still wide. Go ahead and lower your hands to the earth and drop the knees to the ground. Hands flat. And move now through cat and cow and see how this might be different than what you felt when you were standing in your cat and cow. Broadening through the collarbones and then broadening between the shoulder blades. Drawing breath from the inside out. What are you sensitive to? What do you feel and notice here? Which parts of your spine speak to you as you move like this? Let's come back to center, and we're just going to take one foot back at a time, pressing into the heel of one foot and finding a nice calf stretch, lower leg, ankle, and foot stretch. And switching sides, take one back and press. And then when you're ready, we're going to move into downward facing dog. So tucking the toes under, shifting the hips. Let's lift the hips toward the ceiling and start to explore here by pedaling the heels. On the next inhale, come up onto your tippy toes, drop the knees to the earth, Open up the knees wide and let's come into a version of child's pose. We're going to stack our arms like fire logs and give ourselves a nice little pillow to rest on there. Support your head. And this pose gives us that opportunity to really feel breath starting deep within us and radiating outward. Imagine your breath is like just a little pinhole in a piece of paper, like you look through at an eclipse through. And let that light expand with each breath, brightening your whole body. Please come back here anytime you need to just feel this breath again. And stay here as long as you like. When you're ready, let's rise up again to a tabletop position and we'll move into side plank. So kicking one knee off, let's find our kneeling plank. And this top arm is just lifting, lengthening, bright. We're going to cross over the face and make nice shoulder circles here. Feeling your shoulder mobility. The arm bones are long, but also there's softness here. See if you can let your breath create the movement. Rather than moving and breathing, how about breathing and moving? How about breath being the priority? Let's pause with the arm up overhead and we'll take the arm in a different direction. So you're going to reach the arm down in front of you to where it touches the ground and then reach with kind of a backhand up behind you to explore this range of motion. Might follow that hand with your gaze. And sensitivity. Returning to the center, switching sides, the left foot comes off, the right arm opens, and pause here for just a moment to set up your foundation. And then begin right arm circles, whichever arm. In these practices, just opening ourselves to light, to lightness, to space, to ease, to grace. In our yoga practice today, we emerge as beings of light, brightening the path for others. But first, we have to kindle our own flame. Let's reach the fingertips high and then we'll create that new range of motion. So the arm comes down in front of you to your mat. And then like a tennis backhand swing, the back of the hand leads up and maybe slightly behind you. The shoulder is the boss of this one. And then let's return to center. Come up to stand on your shin bones in this kneeling high position. And we're just going to see how this feels. If you've got sensitive knees, that's a nice name for knees that give us trouble, grab a block or a bolster. And then we're going to sit back on our heels. So you can sit on something if knees need a little bit extra, or you can come all the way down to your heels. In this position, arms are going to reach behind. So kind of exaggerating that arm extension. Heart presses forward. Empty all the breath. And on your inhale, sweep the arms up. Cactus the arms open through the chest. Inhale to lift. And slowly melt the arms down and behind you. Collarbones bright. The breath moves from the inside and radiates out. Cactus the arms. Inhale to lift. Notice where you bring in extra tension or struggle. And see if you can soften, almost like the arms are floating. Think Tai Chi or Qigong. Think of a gentler way of moving your limbs. Turning up the brightness inside one more time. And coming back. Returning again to a tabletop position. Let's draw the right foot forward and come down into a kneeling lunge. Take a moment to wiggle in here, shift and find this hip flexor and the quadriceps. You can either stay right here or tuck the toes, lifting the knee. So we often think of heart openers as this opening to grace, but what about hip openers? What about opening through this part of the body to something a little more spacious and light? Let's bring our hands to our front knee and we're going to find some good stability here. So really rooting down on the right foot, strong in the back leg. The left arm is going to reach straight out in front of us. The right hand just gently glides to the low back. We're going to start to open into an easy twist. We'll be looking over the shoulder. Fingers reaching forward, legs are stable. Breath comes from the inside out. You can stay right here. If you'd like to go a little further, kind of walk your fingers down that back leg and begin to lift the top arm. Think of lifting and lengthening more than dumping. We're looking for space, and if there's any part of our body that feels crunched or pinched or closed off, energy gets stuck. Let's return the hand forward. Both hands to that front knee, shifting the body forward, hands to the floor, drop the knee. And let's just glide forward and back a few times, juicing up the joints. And we'll bring the hands to the inside of the foot, back to tabletop. Actually, that felt good. Let's do that a few times. So swinging that leg forward and back, just kind of feeling that movement around the hip joint there. Leaning a little bit on the right hand and just playing with hip mobility. One more time. And back to tabletop. We'll take the left foot forward and gently opening into that right hip. Pause here for a moment, close your eyes and feel breath coming from the inside out. Expanding to the outside of your skin. Maybe the breath becomes this light that even surrounds you. On the inhale, it draws back in. Tucking the back toes. If you like, you can stay on the floor with the knee either way. And we'll use our front knee to come up to either a kneeling or this middle lunge position. Beautiful. Let's reach our right arm forward and the shoulder just stays nice and strong here. Left hand floats to the low back. Take an easy twist. April, you'll appreciate this. I'm just coming off of a Josh weekend. So lots of attention to subtle movements. All right, if you like, you can slide your fingers down and explore lifting that arm, finding more space and length here. If anything gets pinched off, closed off, just take a step back. Find where grace, ease abounds. Nice. Let's bring the arm forward, both hands onto that knee, lower ourselves down. And we're gonna go once again into downward facing dog. No, we're not. We're gonna drop the knee and do that knee thing. Sorry. So just sweeping that knee forward and back. A little bit of weight on the right hand. Noticing that hip mobility on the left side. And that always builds the heat, doesn't it? Tucking the toes now, downward facing dog. So how does this feel the second time through? Is there any more space, length? Stability. Looking forward to the top of our mat. Let's walk our feet to meet our hands. And we'll take that wide stance once again with knees bent. Fingers can touch elbows, gently tugging ourselves down, nice long spine. Deep breath in with an audible exhale. Shifting into the right foot, shifting into the left foot. Back and forth. Finding the outer edges and the inner edges of our legs. And pressing hands to shin. Let's lift halfway. Exhale, forward fold. See if you can go a little deeper. 2 more times. The breath comes from the inside out. Now, remembering what we did when we were kneeling, we're going to do that same action with our arms. So we'll need a pretty good bend in our knees and a strong core as we bring the arms behind us in airplane. So we'll draw those shoulder blades together, broaden the collarbones. On the inhale, sweep the floor with your fingers, lift slowly, lengthen, and then exhale, cactus your arms. Inhale to lift. Exhale, hinge from the hips. Stop when you get to your flat back. Fly your arms behind you. Move with your breath. So the breath initiates the movement. Breath first, then body. See how that changes the sensation when the breath is leading the way. Let's inhale the arms up, stretch as tall as you can. Pause in this cactus position. Feet firm on the earth. Let's draw those lines again. So ankle bones through the knees, through the hips, through the shoulders, ears. Lift the palate. Soften the throat. Feel that line across collarbones. On the inhale, the arms come up. Take a hold of your right wrist and bend to your left side. And as you do that, make a more firm footprint through your right foot. Right wrist gently pulling. Right shoulder opening. Breath moves from the inside out. Just feel the whole right side of your body brighter. And come up. Pause with your arms at your sides and just see if you can feel the difference, that subtle difference one stretch makes. Does the right side of your body feel any different than the left? Reach the arms, take a hold of your left wrist, stretch up and over, finding the left side of your body. Press into your left ankle. Draw that line up through the knee, through the hip, through the shoulder, out through the fingertips. Brighten the left side of your body. Come back to center. Slowly lower the arms. Feel standing here. Two sides. Two sides. Bring your hands to heart center and feet just a little bit closer. We're going to do a little balancy thing here. So I'd like you to stand on your right foot and pick your left foot up 1 millimeter off the floor to where the skin of your foot can still feel the floor, but you're standing on your right foot. Notice the shift. Notice that this is a fabulous balancing pose. No need to do circus tricks with the leg to challenge our balance. And go ahead and come back to neutral and feel right ankle, left ankle. Amazing, right? Just 1 millimeter. Shift into the left foot. Lift, barely just unweight the right foot. Almost like you're tickling your mat with your right foot. Body tall, we still have that line, ankle through knee, through hip, through shoulder, through ear. Collarbones are bright and broad. Breath moves from the inside out. Come back to standing. Feel sensitivity. Shifting again into the right foot, you can do exactly what we just did. If you'd like to go a little further, come up onto your tippy, like the very tip of your big toe, and start to juice your hip. Rotate, external rotation. The knee comes out and in. It's almost like you're just turning a screw into the floor with your left big toe. And then if you'd like to challenge yourself a bit more, do that same action with the foot off the floor. Balancing while you're rotating your hip. And then we'll open that hip and set the foot wherever you like. It can go back to the floor. It can find lower leg. Just avoid the knee. And then let's open our arms out to the sides, palms up, thumbs back. How long can you stretch your collarbones? Find that soft place at the base of the throat and draw your collarbones outward from there. Lifting through the heart, eyes on one point. Feel the energy. Breath moves from the inside out. Extend the leg and come back to solid ground. Try not to shake out that standing ankle, just feel it. There's some heaviness planted in that right ankle. Leave it. Leave it firm, grounded, stable. Draw your energy up from that right ankle through the crown of your head. And we'll switch. So standing on the left, really rooted down there, come up to the very, very tip of your right big toe and start that action of juicing. Try to keep the left hip still. You might even bring a hand to the left hip. Just noticing the action in your right external hip rotators. If you like, you can try that with the foot off the floor. Just noticing your natural stops in both directions. And when you're ready, find your expression of tree. Just avoid the knee, and we'll take the arms out again. Palms up, eyes forward on one point. Brighten, broaden. Inner body bright, outer body strong, open to grace. The leg extends and we lower. Bring your hands back to your heart and just notice again, 2 feet grounded to the earth. Energy flowing from the bottom to the top to the bottom, from the inside out, and the outside in. Reach arms high, take a deep, glorious breath in. Soften the knees, hinge from the hips, forward fold. Press to lift halfway. Exhale a third time, downward facing dog. Pedal your heels, see if dog number 3 has changed anything at all. Shifting forward onto our knees, open up into cow pose. Take a nice deep breath here. Let your belly fall, shoulder blades pressing down your back. Exhale, round your spine into cat and come way up onto fingertips, hips pulling back, almost like puppy pose. So you're feeling stretch in your chest. Come forward again, inhale, cow. And exhale back to child's pose, widening the knees if you like. And create that pillow again with your arms, or maybe your head comes to the ground. Wherever your forehead is, create a little bit of movement rolling side to side across your third eye, your place of intuition. Just acknowledging this trust that you are developing with your own inner wisdom. And then pausing here, let's bring the hands together, elbows drop, and the hands will come behind the neck. This is a stretch for the triceps, the lats, the outside of the rib cage. You can just stay here gently. If you'd like a little more, you can walk your elbows forward and pull your hips back a bit. Breath starts inside the body and makes its way to the outside. Sensitivity. What are you noticing? Where in your body do you feel restriction, tightness? Where can you brighten or lighten inside of your body? Releasing hands to the mat, pressing up again to tabletop. Coming once again to stand on our shins, arms sweep behind. Exhale, lowering the heels, the hips back over the heels, stretching the arms long in front of us. Coming back to our tabletop and driving that right foot forward once again. We're back into our lunge. Tucking the back toes, drop the heel and rise up into warrior one. Just an easy, slow circle of the arms around. I'm going to hinge forward over that leg. And do that 2 more times, just circling around with our warrior one. Mobility in our joints. Then with hands on the hips, rotate toward the side of your mat. Come into a warrior two. Nice and easy, arms out to the sides. Moving the torso side to side. The purpose is just stirring up that light inside of us. And does that feel any different than when the focus is all on stretching specific muscles? How does your practice change when the focus is on making the light inside of you brighter, finding ease and grace in the spaces? Come back one more time, straightening the front leg, deep breath in. And returning to warrior two. And then let's bring all 10 toes to the side of the mat. And we'll just turn toward the back wall for warrior one. So adjusting the feet, arms reach. And we'll do those arm circles over the leg. And this is how good my memory is. I realized I forgot something on the other side, and we're going to get it right here. So we're going to turn the back toes, drop the knee, and we're going to do that forward and back. Because I guarantee someone watching noticed that we forgot this, and they won't sleep tonight unless they do this. So evening out the sides. Plus, this is so juicy and fun. We can't miss this one. So as we come forward, we'll tuck the toes, drop the heel, and let's just slowly move up and out into warrior two. And moving side to side. So this practice has been a lot of movement. That's a signature of both vinyasa style yoga, but also Anusara. A lot of moving into the spaces. So just noticing how you feel, how your body receives this practice, how your mind receives this. One more time over the leg. And then on the inhale, reverse warrior, straightening the front leg, finding that space here. Opening, expanding, feeling. And then back to warrior two. And turning all 10 toes to the long edge of the mat. Bring your hands to your hips, and before we fold forward, create lines again. Ankle bones, you might even look down. Ankle bones to the outside of the knee, and knee up into the hip. And then see if you can feel your hip crease. The knees can be a little soft, and we'll hinge forward. Nice and easy. And you can kind of decide where you want to be, wider or more narrow. Fingertips on the floor. It might feel good to stay here with a flat back. If you'd like, you can lower your head. Sometimes it's kind of nice to support your head with a block or cushion. And we'll just be here for a few breaths, giving you time to explore, experience, witness. Movement or stillness, your choice. So Anusara teaches us that when the bones are aligned, when the joints feel strong, supported, our nervous system can relax. But when there's any point of strain in the body and misalignment, our nervous system knows, and it's fight or flight, right? The nervous system knows to be on alert. So pay attention to your feet for a moment. Feel the stability of your feet and ankles. And if anything doesn't feel stable, shorten the stance or resituate yourself till you feel that stability. Is there any pain in the knee joints or hip joints? And if so, there's a signal to the brain to be on alert and your body won't relax. So soften, change until those pinpoints go away. Let's come back up to a flat back if you've lowered down. And we'll bring ourselves back to the front of our mat, dropping one knee and then the other. And then we'll sweep the legs around, finding a seat. So now we'll align our bones differently in a seated position. So that means we want our sitting bones right on the earth. And if your hamstrings are tight, that will require a bend in the knees. You can use a block. I love this option to just have something under the block to create relaxation. And then as we move forward, we want to move from the hip joint. So the spine stays long, hands are on the floor. Maybe right here feels like a good place to stay, maybe reaching to your feet or grabbing a strap. And we'll come into Paschimottanasana, seated forward fold. So the alignment that gives our nervous system the best chance of relaxation is sitting bones on the floor, knees soft, spine long. When you find that for yourself, with whatever props are helpful, let your breath come from the inside out. With each inhale, lift your palate, brighten the top of your mouth. Unclench your jaw, soften your face. Relieve stress from your forehead, your eyes, your temples. Let breath move through you and to you. You're ready, gently lift your body. Bring the soles of your feet together in butterfly. If you like, you could sit on top of a block or bolster. Find a tall spine. So alignment here is sitting bones straight down on the earth. If you feel like you're tucking, get up on something. We're going to rotate here. So arms come out to the sides, but palms turn up. And then our arms are just like helicopter blades. We're going to rotate to the right. Let your torso lead the way. And when your obliques can go no further, set the hands where they are. Set them down. Relax your back shoulder and turn your head back. You can close your eyes or look down and just let your torso enjoy this gentle ringing, this cleansing of abdominal organs. The breath becomes a massage for your spine, the discs between your vertebrae. Breath moves from the inside out, and the outside in. Sit tall, create those helicopter blades again as you slowly float over to the left. Let this be more about breath moving your belly than a deep stretch in any particular place in your body. Let the relaxation response take over as your mind stays busy being sensitive to what's happening here. Noticing. Slowly unwind. We're going to draw our knees together and lower down onto our backs. If you have a block with you, we'll be doing bridge pose, and I'm going to do supported bridge today, but you're welcome to do regular. So lifting up onto a prop or bringing your arms under you, your choice. One is restorative and relaxing. One is a little more active. Either way, the hips are above the heart. So if this is an inversion, wiggle around until you feel the perfect place for the back of your head. Draw your shoulder blades down your back and feel again that soft place at the base of your neck. Let those collarbones be more broad, more bright. And then just let your belly move with your breath. Lifting the palate, softening the face. Allow the smallest smile to come to the inside of your lips. The inner body bright. You can stay just like this. If you'd like a little more inversion, you can lift your legs, coming into waterfall. When you are ready to make your way into Shavasana, do so with any movements, any additional shapes that your body would like to visit on the way down. Could be knees to chest or happy baby, maybe a twist. You have time. When you are ready, start to find your final relaxation. That can be traditional Shavasana, or maybe it's Shavasana in a chair. Maybe your body would like some support or covering. As you rest, notice again breath coming from the very middle of you, the depths of you, expanding out. And the exhale coming from the outside in. You are a being of light for whom all things remain possible. And there are no caveats to this truth. You are a light in the darkness. a bringer of the dawn. Your touch heals, your gaze inspires, and your smile is like cool water to parched lips. You are a pillar, an icon, a champion to those who know you and to those who wish they did. Your effect on the world today, as you are, when you are just being you, is awesome. Shine your light, because while your significance may escape you, it changes others forever. Take one more breath that starts somewhere deep inside of you, and let this breath expand to fill the entire room. Exhale to draw that light and energy back in. Continue breathing these expand and contract breaths as you wiggle your fingers and your toes. Start to stretch your body. When you feel ready, roll to one side. When you arrive back at your seat, bring your hands together in front of your beautiful, bright, shining heart. You are a being of light for whom all things remain possible. Let's take a moment now as we sit here, beings of light, healers, lovers, shiners. Bring to mind one person who really needs your light right now, and just hold them in this sacred space. May we take this light that we have grown inside of us outside and be light bringers to a dark world. Bowing to the light within each of us. Namaste.